Hello everyone and welcome to another speed building video on my channel. I decided to build a modern home this time. This one is based on the picture you saw right before the speed build started. I saw this picture on a Facebook group of The Sims 4 and I thought I would jump to the challenge and try to recreate this house as good as possible. I am actually very pleased with the result. I think it does look very alike the original house in the picture provided. And when we jump into the screenshots, I will show the original picture again, and then we'll jump into the screenshots and you can compare for yourself if you like. So here I'm deciding on the layout, and these columns were a bit tricky because they have these stone bases and then the top is wooden, just like I tried to recreate. So if I put the stone columns down first and then on the floor, and then I make the foundation, or well, the patio bigger, they actually stay put on the floor, and that's how you can do that. You can combine these columns with the wooden ones and the stone ones if you like. I couldn't really decide because the columns are actually pretty dark in the original picture, almost black, and this stone thingamabob is also quite dark. But these stones that I've put down first are the exact same stones as the stones from the columns. So I was like, well, maybe I should use those, but they were not dark enough in my opinion, so I changed them to something darker. And then I also changed the columns into darker columns, but in the end I stick to my original idea and go for these stone columns that I use right now, but I do go for the darker brick for that stone detail that you see in the original house as well. I was actually surprised how easy, well, easy is maybe the wrong word, but it was actually very doable to recreate this house in The Sims 4, although everything is quite limited. Yeah, but I think I managed quite well, and I'm really happy with the result. So here you can see that I'm deciding on the stones to make them darker, and then I lighten them up a little bit, but then I go for all black again soon. Here I'm working a bit on the foundation. And putting more windows. I had a floor plan as well. It was also provided by the person who gave me this picture on Facebook. So I tried to follow the floor plan as good as possible, and put down the windows where matching the floor plan. It does have a very small kitchen, and it only has 2 bedrooms, but I guess it's like a decent small family home, or like a couple who doesn't really want children but wants to entertain people and have people over, I guess. And here I wanted to bring in, oh yeah, here I'm switching the columns to the darker black columns of Dynout, I believe, but I will change them again to the stone columns instead, because they look more like the columns of the original build. So I'm trying to bring the wood textures of the exterior into the house. It does give it a contemporary feel and also makes it a little warmer in a way. So you can go really modern, but the wood softens it a little bit. And here are mismatching cabinets, which I usually never do because I'm against mismatching kitchen cabinets. But the ones I used on the bottom actually don't have top cabinets, so I had to change them. And I'm going for a mirror splashback. Here I'm overdoing it a little bit, and I will change that a bit later on. Deciding on the flooring. I'm going for these very dark, nice wood floors. And at first I wanted this living room to have a green color scheme, but I will change that soon into a dark blue, which works really well with the wood. Yes, here I'm changing the colors to blue. And I had this little room which I didn't really know what to do with, and so I decided to make it into a study area. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure they can enter the study area, to be honest, with the table there, because I will change the door and I'll put it down in the living room, the entrance to the study area. So you might have to switch it around if you download this house, which you can on the Sims 4 gallery. The origin ID is also Wizard of Oz ZZ 1988. Here I'm just putting down some furniture, going for a green color scheme in this room, in the first bedroom at least. And you can just imagine that you can pull those big curtains all across the window if you wanted to, although it is impossible, but then again they can't close curtains anyway, so it's more for decorational purposes. Just putting down some artwork. I do really like those modern paintings from Cats and Dogs. They're very modern and contemporary, and you can also see that I've changed the layout of the study. So I'm not 100% sure if they can enter the room. I hope they can. I didn't really test it. They can sit down on the table. That I do know. So I hope it works, and otherwise I hope you don't mind by changing the layout a bit yourself, or maybe not use the study. I guess that's also a possibility. This build took me around 3 hours, I think. A little less than 3 hours, maybe 2 hours and a half. Something like that, I think, yes. Because this is a 20-minute video and sped up 8 times, so it should be around 2 hours and a half, I think. I feel like I am already growing as a builder and a speed builder as well. Yeah. And as I mentioned before, I'm really proud of the result of what I accomplished with this build. I wouldn't mind living in this house myself, but then again, my current house isn't the fanciest one in the world. Yeah, so here I delete the splashback, and I'm just putting down some cluttered objects to make it more lived in and a bit more realistic. If you put down these objects, it makes it look like people live in your houses, and does make it look lived in and realistic, in my opinion. And here I'm gonna work on the master bedroom / it has an ensuite as well. A bit of an open planned ensuite with these wooden walls, and here I added a little more wood to the downstairs as well, and then going for a red color scheme in the bedroom upstairs. I couldn't decide on the bed at first. So the really modern contemporary looking one or the other one, but I settled on that one. And then I wanted a red closet, but I eventually go for the wooden one instead, which works pretty nicely. Here I'm trying to find a painting that works on that wall, but I go for the modern ones from Cats and Dogs again. Just creating a little reading nook. And changing the red walls a little bit. Making it cozy. Definitely a bedroom I would like to stay in. And the bathroom also has some reddish colors. I really like those modern bathrooms. I believe they're from City Living. I wanted to put down a rug, but it didn't really work in a bathroom. But I do put a rug down under the bed. Adding a bit more lights. And a little bit of decoration in the night hall. I was looking for an orange one, but I couldn't find one, so I go for the one with the feathers from Dine Out. The study isn't anything too special. But it's nice enough. I mean, it's a study area, so... And now I'm going to work on the patio area, which will contain jacuzzi and a barbecue. With a big table. Doing the old move objects on cheat. It's such a very, very useful cheat. And here I'm fencing it off a little bit. So it is a bit private, but not completely enclosed. But you'd at least have some privacy if you want to take a dip in the hot tub. And now we're gonna work on the garden area with swimming pool. In the end, it does look very luxurious in my opinion. And those tiles actually work very well in pools. Those tiles are from Get Together. You can use them in bathrooms, but I tend to use them in my pools instead. Especially the blue ones work pretty well. At first I've put the house on a high foundation, but the original one has a very low foundation, so I do change it again in the end and lower the foundation a little bit so it matches the original image more. Here I'm just adding some shrubberies. And some trees. And I was quickly checking what the thumbnail would look like on the gallery, so I put the tree on the right spot. It's all in the details. Your thumbnails need to be attractive for people to download your house. Well, that's what I always try at least. I'm gonna put some shading, well, some sort of roofing above the pool, so you would have a little shade if it's too hot outside. And I think it looks pretty nice. Yeah, and here I'm matching it with the one above, with the one upstairs on the patio area. And then also enclosing it a little bit for some privacy. Some terrain painting. Does make it look a little bit more lived in and realistic as well. A garden is never perfectly green everywhere, so these little details just make your builds pop a little bit more. I think we should be getting near the end of the video now. I'm just finishing up the garden, and yeah, I will let you guys enjoy the screenshots without my commentary. First we start with another comparison picture of the original picture I used for the inspiration of this build, and then some screenshots of the exterior and interior. I really hope you liked this build and this video. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe. You can also comment for your feedback down below. And I hope to see you again in the near future. I wish you an amazing day and goodbye.